CGB rotation happened in Hearthstone. Okay, this is
hallelujah.
What is the year? It is the year of the Scarab. That's what it's called. With the year of the Scarab, the first expansion of the year is Cataclysm, timeline where Deathwing destroyed Azeroth. I think that's what they were going for. I'm not a lore expert here, but that's pretty much what it is.
This is like Warcraft stuff, isn't it?
That's Warcraft stuff. Yeah, it's a lot of
that's
lore
Warcraft stuff. Okay.
Now this set's really cool. I'm not going to show you, for people who are curious, the Herald stuff. We'll do that at some other point in time in my life. Just not today. I'm going to show you more of like the in a vacuum legendaries.
I'm ready to get into a vacuum with legendaries.
This Hearthstone rotation is important because they took away a lot of, well, they didn't take away, they rotated out a lot of their tempo swap cards. So if, for instance, there's not a lot of cards that like destroy the board and then you also develop something behind it. This metagame so far has been a lot more board centric. It is much more about maintaining the board than anything else I've seen. There's still a couple of decks here and there that are kind of degenerate. I'm not going to talk about what those are. This, for people who are watching, is also before the very first nerf, which I believe is happening next Thursday when we're recording this. So
my first Hearthstone card in months, and it is Varanoth.
I don't know if it's Viraneth, but you might be right. I'm not sure.
Varanoth.
We haven't had usually at this point, like I wait for like a tournament so I can hear how these cards are pronounced.
Amen. So 6 mana for a 6/6 elemental with battle cry. If the total cost of your starting minions was 100, split 100 stats among minions in your deck. Okay, so starting minions, I'm guessing that is the total of all the minions in your deck at the start of the game.
Yeah, so when you build your deck with this card, there's like a little progress bar that goes beneath them, and it tells you how much mana you have of minions. So you need to get that prerequisite to get this effect if you want to actually get the battle cry.
It's not like you'll draw this on, I don't know, turn 10, and because there aren't enough minions in your deck, now you don't get the proc. Like it counts when you start the game.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that would be a feels bad. That's a lot of stats. This is a very interesting card because my brain is already going in different directions. Yeah. Like, do you try to build this with, you've shown me like some very high statted minions, like absurdly statted even, because they were like uncastable until something happened. So do you try to have a small amount of extremely high statted minions so that these high stat minions get even more stats? Or do you try to have an all minions deck with a bunch of cheap minions so that you're casting like 2 mana 8/8s after this battle cries? It does give stats to itself, yes?
No, it will not. No, it would not. It would not.
In your deck.
In your deck, yeah.
Okay. They don't play no 6 mana 6/6s without other text, which is what this is on its own. But yes. Then it's like everything you draw from then on gets, it's 100 stats among the things still in your deck after you play this. So everything you draw has some piece of the 100. It's not evenly, it's random.
It is evenly spread out. It is evenly spread out.
It's even.
Yeah, it's not like one card's gonna get all the stats.
Do I have to get my damn calculator? What the hell? How many cards we have in a deck again? What's cooking? What does Hearthstone do? 30 cards. 30 cards. That's really low, dude. That's really low for a card game. Oh my god. And so you're playing this on 6. You start with like what, 4, 5 in your hand? I'm trying to remember these things.
You start with 4 if you go first. 5 you go second.
Yeah. And then you slam this on 6, so you have under 20 cards in your deck, and you're splitting 100 stats among the ones that are minions. Okay, assuming that it's, and I shouldn't assume this, but assuming that getting the 100 stats is very doable, that seems like every card you draw is now insanely busted from stats wise, and you preface this whole thing with the board matters now, which makes this card absolutely terrifying.
Okay.
So is there still one of those cards that like starts out at like an absurdly high cost and then gets cheaper?
Oh, Ceaseless Expanse is rotated. That being said, I will just say this right now. You can build a deck with 100 mana of minions. Like, you don't have to think too hard about that. You can do that.
You don't have to make a lot of deck building sacrifices.
No.
It works.
I would say it's the reverse, where it's like you would add this card in if you are going to hit that threshold, not like I'm going to build my deck around this card. Does that make sense?
So, and this is generic?
This is neutral. Yeah, you can put it in any class.
This is neutral? It doesn't. Is this card like everywhere? Is this busted? Is this insane? The only other way I'm like, don't play this at all is if you just can't take a turn to drop your 6 mana 6/6. And I feel like Hearthstone was there for a little while, but that doesn't, I don't know, man. There's been plenty of cards that are like, you take 5 turn 5 off and you drop this card, and it's not like it's completely useless. It's still a 6/6.
Okay.
But it's like you play something on turn 5 and then the rest of your game plan is now online and you're hugely advantaged for the rest of the game. Like Hearthstone's had some busted stuff like that. In a vacuum, yeah, I'm gonna say this is good.
Okay, this card is currently borderline unplayable.
We are so back.
So the problem is with this card, there's multiple issues here. One, like you said,
no.
it is a actual issue of dropping a 6 mana 6/6 do nothing, because it's not like, as much as the board matters more here, right? Your individual minions still need to do something to impact the game. It's always kind of been like that, other than like Classic, for instance, right? The other problem with this card is you need to draw it. If you don't draw this card, obviously it doesn't do anything, and then the later the game gets, the more sketchy it gets, because it's like now like you're going to 10 mana and it's like, do I really have time to play this? And the worst part is you still need to draw minions afterwards for this effect to be relevant. The good news is for this card is that this is the first expansion of the year. It will be here for 2 years in standard. There might be a case where you can consistently grab this from your deck, and maybe you could proc the battle cry twice at some point. We'll have to wait and see.
Oh God!
But currently,
do you need to double this?
You could. I don't know if you remember, we did dark gifts where it's like you get like discover, and then they get like a little text box after it that is like an extra effect. So you could actually get the double battle cry on this currently. It's very unlikely. Maybe after the patch it gets a little easier to do it, but I don't see that happening.
You'd think 100 stats would do that, but guess not. Guess it's not gonna
what if you don't draw it though? That's the problem, right?
Okay. Yeah, sure.
All right, what about this one?
Oh my God. Warmaster Blackhorn is 7 for a 6/6 battle cry. Destroy all cards that cost 2 or less in both players' hands and decks.
What do you think of this card? I'm sure the people are excited to hear what you have to say about it.
It's like a middle finger to Rogue.
That reminds me.
My first.
Speaking of Rogue, Shadow Step is now rotated out of standard for the first time ever as well.
Well, maybe it's not a middle finger to Rogue. Maybe Rogue actually had to build a new deck for the first time in their existence.
I feel like it would be fair to say that Blackthorn was like the pre-release card of the expansion. Blackthorn was in the previous standard rotation before the rotation happened. You could play them.
This card is pretty cool. If this were a Magic card, the closest thing I can think of it as is a card called Chalice of the Void that just like you can set it to a number and then it counters all spells of that number and it just stays on the board. And that's really good. That's really good. And you can build your deck in interesting ways around it. So like my first thought, like building with a card like Warmaster Blackhorn would be, I'm going to have all my like 1 and 2 mana cards, because I don't think you just stop playing 1 and 2 mana cards. You can't do nothing in the early game and expect to play the game, but they're probably removal stall tactic cards, or, you know, card draws, cheap stuff like that. And if those are blown up from your deck for 7 mana, then you're kind of happy to not be top decking those anymore. So you're top decking haymakers, right?
Yeah.
You're top decking your big, powerful top end cards that you want to draw every single turn and just lay waste to the opponent's pile. It does do that for the opponent too. I think the money here is hitting the hand. Not only that, if they're still doing shenanigans where they're reducing the cost of cards in hand with various effects, this card just gets them. Less board clears. How does that play into this? It's a cool deck building puzzle. I'm trying to think of the angle I might have missed, but like I want to build this with a deck that is stall early, haymakers late. I don't know the meta well enough, but I want to try it. I think this is a very cool card.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a tech card. I think it has a deck, and I think people try building around it, but at the end of the day, like what it's doing to your deck, ooh, well, wait, you get one of these because they're the legendaries.
Yeah, you only get
so
one.
We have the same like you have to draw it problem, because I was gonna say, what if you build a deck that's all like 2 like cheap cards except for like this one busted combo, and then you blow up your whole deck, and so you draw the combo, but you still have to draw this. I think there's a deck, but I think at the end it's mostly about what the opponents are playing. So I'm gonna say techie card.
Okay, so this one is funny because I wasn't gonna put it on this list to show you, because this is the first card ever to be nerfed before an expansion came out. And
which version am I looking at?
That is the pre-nerf version of the card. So you actually the analysis was spot on, just for the record. This card was played in like Control Warrior to basically stop combo decks from killing it after a certain extent. By hitting the hand specifically, you kind of take away a lot of the tools that people have been gathering over the course of a game to kill you. But on top of that, it's like very polarizing card, because it's either really good or it doesn't do anything. The community, dude, it's funny because you're like, oh, this card's so interesting. I'm trying to like not to laugh here. You're like, this card is so interesting. It's so fun. It's just like the most hated card in a very long time.
What?
People like, so
this made people salty.
Full transparency, I was not playing Hearthstone during this time, so I don't know how bad it was.
You tell us in the comments then, you're geniuses out there. Were you scooping the second this like got cast? You see this hit the board and you just quit? It's a conversation
of, okay, so like, I guess the conversation would be, before we continue, because obviously I post rotation, for the record, after the nerf. This card's not has been played. Like, you can't play the card. The nerf, by the way, was just not hitting the hand, or only hitting the deck, I should say, rather than hitting the hand as well.
Cowards.
So it just the conversation would be, in a game where you can't interact with your opponent, is it fine to have a card that kind of just completely negates one archetype entirely?
Magic players would say absolutely.
Yeah, I guess Hearthstone players are a bunch of babies. So
yep. I agree, dude. I grew up in those early Magic days. Okay, we had cards that just specifically said you don't get to play the game, and we could get them out on turn 1. A Dark Ritual Gloom, I'll show it to you someday. Dystopia. These cards just wrecked entire decks forever. Genn, the Cursed King. 4 mana for a 5/4. While holding this, if the rest of your hand is all even or all odd, transform this. The Worgen King. Ooh, we got werewolf transformations. Nice. The battle cry is to upgrade your starting hero power, and it only costs 1.
Okay, so do you remember back in the day with Genn and Baku? We did like a whole video on it. So that they took those two cards, they put them together. Rather than it being a start a game effect, it is a card on Genn. And it's just important to note that you need to be holding this in order for it to transform in hand. And then once you play it, you do get the upgraded effect.
Is it the same upgraded hero power?
It is the exact same. It is the exact same.
Busted. Insane. So in Magic, we had the companion clause for a while, which it did have the even and the odd, like your whole deck has to be even or your whole deck has to be odd to get this effect. The good one turned out to be odd, because you could always have turn 1 1 drop, turn 2 1 drop 1 drop, turn 3 3 drop, and then turn 4 this. Upgrade your hero power for the rest of the game. So that is if you wanted to go to extremes building around it. The hero power is a really cool part of Hearthstone. It's pretty unique to Hearthstone. It's also stupid if it costs 1, because like, when are you not going to find the ability to use it? And it's upgraded. And this is a 4 mana 6/5. Almost for sure you take some of the classes that are very aggressive, right? Your warlocks and your paladins or something like that. And you build around a bunch of very cheap, very aggressive cards. And if you have this on turn 4, your deck is poggers. If not, you still have a low curve deck. And you can still have very good 5s, very good 3s, very good 7s, and you can still play through like the holes in your curve, because the hero power kind of allows you to do that already. Man, I want to tap. We can bring back tapping. We can tap for 1, Rarran. Busted. Sign me up. Let's go. Busted card. This card's insane. Okay, so I'm all in on this card immediately. This card is awesome. Let's do it.
Okay. Card is really cool. I agree with you. I would not call this card busted. I'd call it playable. And that's okay. Where I have to put it, unfortunately, for this, because it's very dependent on the classes you're playing. Theoretically, you could put it in any class, absolutely. But the biggest problem, and comparatively to a card like Genn or Baku, is that this is not a start game effect. So you need to draw it. On top of that, you need to make sure your hand is what the requirement needs in order for it to transform, because you're not playing a 4 mana 5/4. And then on top of that, you need the board space to play a 4 mana 6/5, which sounds really good in theory, but like, to be honest with you, it's not even that good. And then you also need to spend your mana on hero power. You did make a good call. The decks that won it are extremely aggressive. So Hunter's a really good example of it. Hunter has the ability to kind of empty your hand, and if there's no other cards in your hand, Genn's gonna transform. Demon Hunter's the other one, or at least that I thought. I haven't seen anyone play it in Demon Hunter yet. Maybe at some point that will be the case, but it's basically just Hunter. Hunter is doing kind of well at the moment. So because of that, it is definitely a playable card in Hunter. Now I was looking at the deck list.
Oh, come on. When you play this on turn 4, it's busted and you know it. It's busted.
So it's crazy because we were playing.
What's the win rate? What's the win rate when they have this in their opening hand?
That's a great card. You know what? I will check the one that has the most amount of games. Give me 1 second. This has 23,000 games. Hold on. Mulligan impact of Genn is not great. It is the 5th worst card to have in your hand.
Oh, come on.
So
how is they're building the deck badly, clearly. Pilot error.
Well, I don't know about that. I feel like it's just tough because as much as you want this card to be good, it's just kind of taking a turn off in essence. And if you're playing an aggressive deck that doesn't feel good because you want to maintain the board, you want to put more damage, whatever. And then if you're not an aggressive deck, it's like the only one that kind of wants it as Warrior, but then does Warrior really need to do this? Also, by sacrificing potentially cards that are even and or odd depending what you're going for, it just makes it really awkward. Currently at the moment, the only class that has a chance to play it is currently Hunter. That may fall off sooner rather than later, to be honest with you, based on how things are going.
You guys, see, I have to recalibrate my brain because I've been playing so much Magic Standard where we have no small formats and it's basically like an infinite format at all times with a million pieces of everything. True. You still have rotation and small formats. Yep. My brain is already just can't imagine not having access to every effect at any cost you need at any given time because they're printing like 3,000 Magic cards a year.
No, that's fair. And like, you're going to see it with more of the cards I'm going to show you, like maybe with the small standard rotation, like the card's just not good enough because it doesn't have enough support, but all of a sudden it just needs a couple more cards and it's going to be nuts.
I'm not used to thinking about this at all anymore.
Hey, that's fair. That's fair. All right, here's your next card.
Commander Geddon. Love the name. So this is 7 mana for a 7/7 elemental with battle cry. Instead of drawing each turn, discover a card from your deck. It costs 3 less. Destroy the others.
That means discovering is you get 3 decisions, right? You get to pick one. Whatever card you pick goes in your hand. It costs 3 less. The other 2 are completely removed from the game. I am 99% sure when it comes to fatigue, you still take fatigue. Like, you don't get to discover nothing. You're just taking fatigue at that point. But up until that point, you will pick a card.
Interesting. But then if you don't have a deck, what are you doing? Like, what happens? Like,
So you're just dying. Well, I'm sure you're going to figure out why you would use this card, but...
Are you sure? Are you sure I can do that?
You can do it. I believe it. Like, this card would be kind of interesting in Commander, no?
Yes, but we have 100-card decks and 40 life. So you've got to have, like, a win-the-game combo you're putting together from this point?
Well, I wouldn't say necessarily that, right? So one of the great things about Geddon is that now you get to pick the card that you draw based on the context of the game. That also means you're thinning your deck quicker, which means you find the card that you're looking for faster. You know?
Yes, it will definitely put you towards your power. And if you are the most powerful deck in the game, like if you have the best top end, this card can go in your deck. If you have the second best, or maybe a bit of value, maybe not. Man, I guess if there's a burn deck that had inevitability, but that seems old. That seems like an old strategy. Like, okay, now I'm going to discover Fireball for 2 or 3 turns in a row and win from there. That doesn't seem current.
Yeah, the card that you might be thinking of is like Kill Jaden, for example. Or Kill Jaden, he like made your deck into a portal and you get endless demons every single turn. Like that effect does not exist currently in Standard.
Good. Thank you for letting me know. That would have been, I was going to put those cards together like peanut butter and jelly. Easy. Okay. Now, is this card neutral? This has a border.
This is for Warrior. It's for Warrior.
See, it's all coming back to me now. I get card selection. Very good. But I also think of how terrified you are of drawing too many cards and running into fatigue. You have to have the best top end. If you don't have the best top end, then if the opponent like actually answers the cards you are selecting and you run out, you're going to run out 3 times faster of gas, and whatever the opponent has left over will beat you. Control Warrior typically has powerful top end, but I still found it pretty hard to close games when I played Warrior. Again, my experience is almost irrelevant. It's a year old. You actually have rotation.
So salty about rotation.
I want it so bad. Yeah.
You hear the despair in your voice every time you say it.
Every time I say it, it's like pressing a bruise that never healed. That's right. Yep, sticking a knife right in my side. I'm torn on this one. It's a very niche card. It has to go in the deck with the best top end. If the top end can be answered, this doesn't work at all. It's too many circumstances, dude. Now you've got me shook, because if 100 stats among the cards in your deck doesn't make drawing those good enough, and if like the improved hero power isn't good enough, how is the card selection good enough? It would have to be exactly a certain kind of deck, which you're in a small format, so now I'm gonna play the card from the other side and be like, maybe someday in the future it'll be better. Now I'm on the other end, where obviously we don't have time for this 7 mana 7/7, bro. It's cooked.
Okay, so you're going this is not played whatsoever.
I'm gonna say it's played in I would say more than Vranoff, but less than the other two is where I'd put it.
Okay, you know what's crazy? I think this is the least one I played out of all of them currently.
Okay. God, if you had told me this is good, my whole head would have been
okay, so
up.
I'm gonna let me give you my my elevator pitch for Genn here. The thing about Genn is a card that basically skips turns in a sense. So if, let's say, rather than drawing or picking between 3, I'm only drawing 1 card at the start of my turn. So if Genn is the difference of you skipping those 2 draws to find the card that you actually need to win the game, this card's incredible. Problem with this is that Warrior does not have a deck necessarily that supports this vision currently. And this is a lot of different symptoms, right? Removing Brawl is massive here, because now you have less removal to actually just slam this on the board to find the card that you need, because like I've said before, like slamming a 6/6 isn't good enough. So for 1 more mana to get +1/+1 stats, that's even worse. The other thing about Genn is like Control Warrior does not need this card currently in its current iteration of whatever Warrior is playing. And maybe in the future, we keep pointing out here, it's really funny that we keep saying this, but with more removal, this could be a very, very good card. With more cards you want to draw from the top of your deck, this could be an extremely good card. The potential of this card, I think, is higher than every other card I've shown you, but it's just a card that does not have an archetype to support it right now. You know, maybe they want to print another Kill Jaden effect. We'll have to wait and see. We don't know.
Dude, I just can't with this whole thing of like, you have these cool cards that might get more support in the future and maybe be good. I just want my cards to be obvious that they work with the one set that they're put in and be a great deck now. That's what I get in Magic. Just here, spoon feed me my deck, please. Dump it straight down my throat. So
that is the conversation of the difference between having so many cards in Standard versus what Hearthstone does, right?
Yes.
Like,
it is. That's the conversation. Yes.
Maybe like it's more benefit. I'm a huge fan of rotation. I would rather have what we're having right now than what you guys are going through every single time. And
that's why we get along. That's why we can still be friends. Yep.
I'm okay with not every single card in the set being played. Not every card, especially in Hearthstone. I don't know how Magic does this, where like the design of a card is not only intentionally be like, oh, here's the best card of all time. Sometimes they just make cards for people who want to play this kind of effect. We'll never maybe see that person on ladder because they're like bronze 3, but that's fine. Like at least they're having fun, right? And like that's often what Hearthstone designers think about when they're making cards. And I don't know.
In Magic, we call those commander players. Maloriac.
Sure.
Maloriac. Look at this water painting psychopath. What is going on here?
So I asked my chat what the lore of this card was. It's like some freaky Deathwing scientist or something, I think is what they said.
It looks like we've got a Bob Ross got grabbed by a demon dragon here.
Maybe you're right. I don't know, but that face doesn't scream water paint or painting in general.
Look, who are we to judge the type to do some artistic brilliance in their
name one
cauldron.
Genius that's not crazy, you know?
Yeah, like Maloriac here is a 7 mana 7/7 dragon, and after you discard a minion, summon a copy of it. Poggers. Wait, that's cool. Wow. So Magic has a few of these in the last year. I'm thinking of like Hashiton and of course the classic Magic the Gathering villain, the Green Goblin from Spider-Man.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you this card too.
Okay.
This card is important because I'm going to explain a mechanic here. When a card is temporary, it discards at the end of your turn.
Yep.
Okay.
I remember this.
All right.
Yeah, I remember this. So this is a card you can put this in your deck. How many of these can you have in your deck?
Are you talking about Cursed Catacombs?
Yeah, Cursed Catacombs.
You can have two.
You have two Cursed Catacombs in your deck. So 0 mana to discover another card from your deck and make it temporary. I mean, that's a cool card. You can just play this card.
That card's very good. Yeah, it's
Jesus Christ. This is damn.
For the record, by the way, that card was nerfed. It used
I want to play this card.
That card used to say discover a minion from your deck.
Wait, what?
And that led to some absolute
tutoring?
Nonsense.
Maybe some tutoring, maybe a little cheating, a little deck cheating there, guys.
It was disgusting how good that card was. Whether it was a mini, we don't have to get into it. It led to one of the stupidest meta games in a while.
And then they made this card. Okay.
And then they made this card.
When this is in your hand with a Cursed Catacombs, for 7 you can drop this, and then 0 probably discover the most expensive minion you can, and cha-ching. I mean, you could have some 10s in your deck. That is mana cheating. That is cheating.
That is mana cheating.
I'm guessing there is already a deck that discards cards.
You did see something with Ungoro.
Yeah.
There's that whole archetype of discarding
cards. There's a
cards,
lot of temporary.
Cards.
Yeah, there's a lot of temporary going on. The fact that this could actually go in a deck that exists is pretty good, as opposed to the others, which are like, well, we can build everything about this and then play it and hope we're fine. And then it is an ongoing effect if you can discard the cards in other ways. Are there other ways to like set up the discard? Like, are there portals you can throw your stuff into that count as discarding?
There's definitely more ways. I don't know how much you really want me to show you for evaluation here.
No, it's okay.
There is more.
There's other stuff maybe we do. The problem I'm having is they made these cards in Magic. There are multiple legendaries now, like I said, that give you like kind of free value when you discard the thing.
Yeah.
Those are commander cards. Those haven't quite done the thing until very recently. There are some payoffs for discarding now, but it's mostly super aggressive. This is like discard into value and mana cheating. It's very different.
Okay. No, I see what you're saying.
I mean, are we going to do the same thing for every single one of these? What if we don't draw this? Now maybe our deck bad?
Comparatively to a card like Genn, a card like Genn, and a card like Rarran, this only is effective when it's on the board. The rest of them are like, they fundamentally change the way the game operates from thenceforward. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, this is definitely a card you don't want to drop it and hope you discard next turn. You need to drop it and then discard that turn. Can you discard to hand? Do you discard to hand size in this game?
You don't discard a hand size. Once you're at 10 cards, anything that is generated will not be added to your hand, and any card you draw after will just be removed from the game.
It doesn't count as
discard. Yeah,
in Magic, it would be discarding. That'd be really good. The rest of the deck has to also benefit from like these discarding synergies, these temporary synergies, and it has to be competitive. That's probably asking too much. So I'm gonna say it's not. He's cooking, but he ain't ripe yet. He ain't ready to come out of the oven.
You are absolutely correct. I tried to make this card work. The sad reality of it is that it is 7 mana, which is pretty brutal when you're trying to actually cheese something out, because that's so much later in the game than a lot of the other things we've seen before that are degenerates, which is, I guess, a design win. There is this card which can help with that.
Divergence, 5 mana, split a random minion in your hand into 2 halves. Ooh, okay.
So
alrighty,
what that can do is obviously allow the main win con of this deck to go to 3 and 4 mana, and then maybe you could do some crazy stuff with that later on. The other problem with Cursed Catacombs is like, because it's nerfed, you're not guaranteed to get a minion, and because of that, it makes the deck very, very, very bad. Now, there are other cards that do want to be discard currently in standard. They did print like a kind of a discard package for Warlock, but it's not enough critical mass to really make this like a really good deck. Even with a lot more discard, I don't think this card really has a spot.
Discard is so much worse in your game, because in our game, we just reanimate stuff from the graveyard. Like, we have so many effects for that. There's so many ways to get paid for having a graveyard. Your stuff is gone.
I will say, for the first time ever, CGB, and this is like the technology is here now, they have picked cards that say like, choose a card in your hand to discard. It's no longer just purely random, which is fantastic for potential prospects of what discarding could be going in the future. We'll just have to wait and see.
Morchuk?
Yeah.
Morchuk. Good name. Great name. They still have, you know what? Good on them for still cranking out fantasy names. Like an absolute absolute behemoth over there. I guess they have years of lore to go with Warcraft, but they did a good job. So this is 10 mana for a 10/10 elemental with battle cry. Draw a card and reduce its cost by 10. Repeat this with excess cost reduction. So if you reveal a 1-drop, you reduce its cost by 10, you draw another card and reduce it by 9.
Yeah. You would just reduce it by 1, and then you would have 9 left over, and then it continues going until there's no more reduction.
Obviously, you just draw like a whole new hand, and it's all free. That's what I just read.
Yeah,
That's obviously how this card works. What? Okay, how does it actually work? What are the actual odds here? You probably cast 2 or 3 spells for free. Like you probably draw 2 or 3 free spells.
This card is so, it really depends on what your deck's looking like, to be honest with you.
For 10 mana, 10/10, 2 or 3 random free spells.
Yeah,
that has to be too expensive. Either you're cheating this or you're doing nothing. So is this the card we're sawing in half? No, it's the wrong class. We can't diverge this.
This is for Shaman.
Do we have something else that Shaman can do? Can Shaman play this for 4 so we can have a good, honest game of Hearthstone?
No, Shaman cannot do that. No,
it can't.
Shaman, you have to play for 10. You got to play for 10.
Dude, are we doing this? I mean, this is no Yogg. It's
trying. It's no Yogg.
It's really trying to Yogg, but this is no Yogg. Nah, it's too much. It's too much. It's too random. Let me think. How do we cheat? How do we stack our deck? How do we make sure we're drawing exactly what we need to be free to somehow pop with this? Did they make a new card like Shadow Step for Shaman so we can just do it again?
No.
No. Nah, I don't see it, dude. This is like Big Timmy energy to me. This is a commander card.
You're right.
Okay.
It's so can I say this though? There's another card which I'll show you at some point, which is the Herald for Shaman. And what the Herald of that does is it gives you minions based on the current attack of it, and it reduces the cost 1. So there's a real chance you get that Herald to 10 attack. You generate more chalk from your hand, and then you have a 1 mana 10/10 that discounts the next couple of cards to 0.
That sounds good.
And that shit is so fun when you get that. I had a game where it was like, from that Herald card, I ended up generating this, and I drew my Deathwing, which was a 10 cost card for the record that now costs 0. And I got to play it on the same turn. I developed all those stats. It was incredible.
Dude, you are the most Timmy energy right now. I got my Deathwing.
Bro, sometimes you got to go for the dream, okay? And I think that was the only way I would have won the game anyways. So it was fantastic.
All right, Iso Wrath is 5 mana for a 5/3 battle cry. Devour 2 random cards from the opponent's hand. That's awesome. Then go dormant for 2 turns, and the death rattle is to return them. Is this the best card you've shown me?
Is it the best card?
In a fast tempo-y game, it's 5 mana, you get no board presence, but you get 2 random cards from their hand. That's pretty good.
All right.
I mean, no board presence might kill it. Maybe it's not good. The fact that it's dormant for 2 turns means that they definitely don't get the cards back for 2 turns unless they somehow, is there a way to wreck a dormant creature and get your cards back right away?
No, they're gone for 2 turns. Yeah.
Dude, this is another battle cry I want to copy. Oh my God. Oh my God. Now we're doing the thing. There's probably ways to avoid the death rattle happening, or just maybe they don't have the cards to deal with it because you stole them and you beat them to death. It doesn't create any board presence. Is that lethal? Does that mean that you just die to what's on board now? Because if you play this and you're behind, do you just lose the game? But when you play this and you're ahead, do you just win the game? Ooh. Maybe we have to ask that question.
I'll show you one card, by the way, because I know Shadow Step was rotated out.
Web of Deception. It goes perfectly with... Is this a spider? No, it's not. But they're both gross. Web of Deception. Return a friendly minion to your hand and summon a 4/4 spider with... All right, if we're going off vibes, these big Timmy cards are commander. This is more of like a 1v1 wreck you spiky card. Oh, and that's a sick combo too. I imagine there are other good things to do with this. There have to be other good ETBs.
Dormant procs at the start of your turn, so you will guarantee get to proc the Web of Deception on Iso Wrath.
So Magic had a card back in the day that was just 2 mana, target opponent discards 2 cards at random. Busted. Everybody hated that. Had to go. Well, had to be restricted, then had to go. They have not, to my knowledge. No, actually they did. they did print a card that was Eternal format legal, that was like 4 mana for a very small body, just a 2/1 that made the opponent discard 2 cards at random. And that's like the most they messed with that. And because it was Eternal format that was very fast paced, that card didn't do very much.
Okay.
But that is not this format. I mean, I imagine it's still a much higher pace than old formats, but this, like, 2 cards is a lot of cards, and at random is brutal and absolutely tilting. You're telling me people hated the War Master Blackhorn and this card is here?
Yes.
So either this card is bad because the tempo boot hit for playing a 5 mana 5/3 that does nothing for 2 turns is so bad that nobody can play this, or their priorities are messed up. Yeah, I think when you play against this, you are on the board, making sure that you are ahead or even in the first 4 turns. You jam this, you disrupt their game plan badly. I don't know. Web of Deception's presence in the deck is kind of like Hearthstone, because it's 30 cards, can like run these little combos that come together more often than they would in a Magic 60 card deck with lands. So I can see how Web of Deception might still work, but I think it needs more support to be great. But when it does happen, it's probably even more backbreaking. I like this card. If you tell me that this isn't good, I'm gonna be like, all right, Hearthstone is still too fast to be playable. But I think this card looks absolutely sick. I love this card. I want ISO Wrath to be great.
You're going with this card's played, just for the record. Just
yeah.
Okay, before I even tell you what it is. Blackthorn was a problem because it was introduced into a metagame where the card was already able to be put into a really strong control deck. ISO Wrath was shown during the Cataclysm reveal season, and I have yet to see anybody play this card. Anybody?
No!
Anybody.
Come on, this card is so sick. What are you talking about?
This is the problem with ISO Wrath. This is the problem.
No.
5 mana do nothing is garbage. Like it is bad. Now, yes, it's at the point of like 2 random cards from your opponent's hand, but then here's the problem is like, unless that card is the win condition or it's a card that they desperately needed to play on that particular turn, they're getting it back. Like if you're holding Web of Deception to ISO Wrath so they don't get those cards back, that's not a real play in Hearthstone currently. Like, you can't do that. Like every single content creator saw this card and went, this is the worst card I think we've seen this far. And
I'm a content creator. Bro, I'm right here. How do you do this to me? Alex Straza, the Guardian of Life. All right, we're reskinning an old dragon. Let's go. 7 mana, 8/8 dragon, battle cry. Set your remaining health to 15. When you reach full health, deal 15 damage to your opponent. Set your remaining health to 15. When you reach full health, deal 15. This is not... Yeah, I need help.
So your max health in Hearthstone is 30. That means regardless of what life total you're at during the game, let's say you're at 3 or say you're at 18, doesn't matter. You will set your health at 15. It says remaining because obviously it doesn't transform your max health to 15. It just transforms whatever current health you're at to 15. Okay. If you go all the way back up to 30, then this battle cry will proc.
Wait, so if I play this on 7 and my 10 health goes to 15 and the game goes on for 2 or 3 more turns, yep, and Alex Straza dies,
yep,
but I get to 30,
it will still
the
proc.
Opponent takes 15. Is there a 0 mana card you want to show me that makes my life total 30?
No, I'll show you. Okay, hold on. I'll show you some free stuff. I'll show you some free stuff.
What?
0 mana card for 30? What the hell?
What? Okay, what am I supposed to play with this?
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
This card's like, that's a good. You know what? You make a good point. Priest is known as the healing class, for the record. There's that.
Cleansing Cleric. Your healing effects restore 2 more health this game. Trash. Continue.
Wait, you think that card's just bad outright?
Like, who can just sit there healing?
Okay, you're thinking this wrong. Let me give you an identity here. Hold on. Okay, let me show you. This is some Giga synergy here. Okay, Devouring Plague reads: deal 4 damage randomly split among all enemy minions. If you play a cleric before you play plague, that means not only sorry, the spell is lifesteal. Gotta make that very clear. If you play this before you play the cleric, you're only healing for 4. If you play it after you played the cleric, you're now healing for 3 on each proc, which means you're healing for 12.
And
you see how impactful that one card could be when you look at that.
What were you saying? Something? I think I remember trying to figure out how to gain some life with like Tortola and then getting beaten down by boards with like 5 million power, and it just didn't matter. Like,
okay, I mean, sure, but this is rotation. This is a completely different life, right? Or different.
Oh, is it? Now we can suddenly just sit there and be like, I gain 4. Oh, I have my synergy piece. Now I gain 12. And the opponent's not going to make a board full of 8/8s that are going to destroy us. This is all trash. Life gain is trash. Okay. That's just card game facts. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Alexstrasza is not played. Really bad card, to be honest.
Well done, everybody. I was worried about you for a minute, Hearthstone. Good work.
The Cleansing Cleric is an actual playable card. The way that it interacts with almost every form of healing is insane. Is it the best strategy currently? No. After the next patch, I actually think Priest stonks are gonna go up quite substantially. We'll have to wait and see. Alexstrasza is not being played. You got that right, correct? But I think you're hating on the healing.
I am. For no reason. Yep. People are out there coping. They like see life total go up. Good for them.
I'm gonna explain how this works going to this. This is the first Colossus I'm gonna show you. Chromatis has Colossal +4. When you play Chromatis, as long as there is board space, it will summon the rest of the appendages with it. That makes sense?
You want me to read all that? Yeah, I think so.
I'll do your job for you. I'll read the card for you, okay? Chromatis is an 8-mana 8/8, Colossal +4. It has Taunt, Lifesteal, Elusive, and Divine Shield, and it's also a dragon, okay? When you play Chromatis, let's say you have nothing on the board, all right? Chromatis is gonna be in the middle, right? On the left side, you're going to get the Taunt and you're going to get the Divine Shield. The reason why that makes sense is if you look at the art of the appendages, they're looking in the same direction.
Oh, okay. I got you. I'm with you.
On the right side, there is the elusive one and then the lifesteal one, but you can read the appendages themselves to understand how this mechanic works for this Colossal.
The blue head has elusive and Chromatis has elusive. Right. And if the blue head dies, then Chromatis also loses elusive.
Exactly.
Very cool. Well made. Good job, team. Is this the part where we pay off the earlier rounds of this video where you said that the board clears were gone? Is this our...
Is this it?
Yeah, is this the board in a box monstrosity that does the job? The Taunt, the Elusive, the Divine Shield. Oh my god. How do you kill this? How do you kill this?
I don't know. Can you? Does it just end it?
Like, it has Divine Shield. In order to get rid of the Divine Shield, you have to remove the head that has Divine Shield, but that has Divine Shield. And you have to remove the head that has Elusive. How do you remove the head that's Elusive? Well, this has Elusive. I've never needed a brawl more in my life.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god.
Where's brawl?
Oh my god, are we winning, son? Holy crap. If fighting for the board matters, this card looks like it just says I win the damn board. But my god, am I nervous about the games where you both have one. Right now, this looks like 8 mana. If fighting for the board is the thing, this looks like turn 8, I take the board and it's mine and you can't have it back. So I'm gonna need to see something better to do or some way to deal with this cleanly. If I don't, this looks like kind of an old classic Magic the Gathering block format where there was one big dumb animal that was better than all the big dumb animals and people like would find ways to race to it. Okay. Like in a small format, I could see this being the big dumb top end that people are racing to get to. I don't know what the rest of the format is, but given the context that we have here, yeah, this you're gonna have to explain to me why this is bad. This looks really good.
Okay, you're going with it's the nuts?
I think that Paladin Chromatis should be a deck. And if it's not, then the developers did a bad job. But this looks awesome.
Okay, currently, this card is not played.
No!
So
what is wrong with this?
This card's really funny because before Theory Crafting came out and before Early Access Tavern Brawl, whatever, I was with you. I said to myself, knowing what the rotation was, I was like, this card looks so annoying to deal with. Like, I don't even know what you do against it. It's overwhelming. You have nothing on board. Like, how do you deal with it? Here's the thing. You having nothing on board is very unlikely for Chromatis. And you could just kill the taunt minion and go around it, right? Like, it's doesn't actually do anything if you just kill the 2 through a taunt until your opponent's turn. If this card was going to win the game, you probably already lost it. Is the logic for Chromatis here. It is competing at the 8 cost spot against arguably just a better card.
Oh no.
That is the other issue with Chromatus. It's just, see, I can't tell you how often I played this card. I was like, yeah, Chromatus is going to be sick. It's going to be so good. I play it. It feels like it did literally nothing. And I'm like, why did I play this card? The other thing is without board space, because you need 5 spots on board out of your 7 to get the full Colossal, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have that, the way that it summons is left to right. So when it gets played, you're getting Taunt, Divine Shields, I believe Lifesteal, and then Elusive. That means that like you're still losing the taunt on this every single time. It does not matter. And that is fundamentally maybe the biggest problem here. You can make the call. I guess they made the call because I don't know if you remember like Ziliax, but Ziliax was played a lot last standard format, which is why people were so excited for rotation. They don't want to do that again. But the problem is that if this card had Rush, it would be incredible. Like that one keyword on this card would make this card insane. But then we're back to what we were previously with Ziliax being a pretty, like our Ziliax, using like the quotations thing in essence, because that's what it would become. They don't want that again. So do you get rid of Lifesteal to put Rush in to make Chromatus a really good card? Well, then you have the tempo swing problem, which is what they don't want maybe to happen again. So Chromatus is just a big dude that if he stays on board and your opponent just can't do anything about it, I mean, obviously you won the game, but at that point you probably won him. You already won anyways. That's what it feels like. It just feels like a win more card. In theory, I get what you're saying. It looks so good. How do you deal with it? It does not play like that in practice. It feels so bad.
Another Timmy card. It's another Timmy commander card in Hearthstone.
It's
they crazy, keep baiting me and they're winning, and you know what? Yeah, I'm just weak to this right now. I want my casual format, I guess. I'm sorry. I'm reeling. My big dragon turned out to suck, and it's just the Archmage Calic is 4 mana for a 4/4 with a battle cry that says give all spells in your hand and deck +1 spell damage. This seems like this card should have existed before.
Have they done this before? I don't think they've done this before.
This could have been a card that they made a long time ago.
Why do you say that?
Maybe not exactly this way. I don't know. It seems like a very straightforward like thing that does a Hearthstone thing that only Hearthstone can do, and that it fits the class, right? This is Mage.
Let me go through Mage, but continue with your analysis.
I mean, it's like many of our other cards. It's 4 mana for 4/4, and then does that lose you the game? Maybe, the way this video has gone, but it is only. I mean, in this case, it is only 4 mana, and it gives all spells in your hand and deck. If a spell in your hand is like, let's say, 2 mana, draw a card. Does that mean it becomes 2 mana, draw a card, deal 1 damage?
No. It has to have some kind of way to interact with the spell damage. So
that's a lot worse.
But I will say this: if a card does like 2 damage and then 2 damage to another thing, then it does 3 and 3, right? Like there's more upside than just 3 to 4 damage, for instance, right? There's the way that Mage has the Mage spells interact with this very positively.
And there are a lot of like things that deal a lot of damage to a lot of places and faces.
Yes. Maybe I should introduce you to the new mechanic in this set as well.
Oh, we got a mechanic.
Okay, this one, you're gonna have to bear with me on this one because it's very hard to explain. Okay, this is Arcane Flow. This is a 4 mana spell that says Shatter. I'm gonna explain what Shatter is 1 second. It says deal 4 damage and deal 2 damage to all enemies. That sounds incredible. No, really good card for 4 mana. Thing is, with Shatter, when it enters your hand, this card is split into 2, and it goes on. One of them goes to your leftmost side, and the other one goes to your rightmost side. And to combine them again, you need to play every single card in between them to I don't know, whatever the reverse of Shattering is, and then you get your spell back. That's the interaction with that card. But with a card like Calic, right, even if it's split up, you still get double the spell damage, and then when it combines again, then you just win, right? Like
what? You just win? That's just such a classic Rarranism.
That's a lot of
and
damage.
Then we just win, guys. We did the thing.
That is so
game's
much damage.
over. Is it?
Oh, you don't think it is?
5 damage and then 3 to all enemies.
No, it's not that
definitely
exciting.
Not bad, but you win? Is that how you win? Again, you got to do all the things to make the thing happen. That's pretty tough, no?
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. Depending. Well, so Shatter is interesting because it's like, we talked about Demon Hunter a lot. Outcast is a mechanic that kind of requires you to play like a low curve deck. So
what's Outcast?
Outcast is the Demon Hunter mechanic that is when you play it on the left or rightmost side of your hand.
Okay.
It has that bonus effect. So you play Outcast in a low curve deck because you can move that card across your hand in order to get it in the Outcast position. Same with Shatter, right? With a card like Arcane Flow, you're putting it into a deck that is low curve so that you can play those spells and then get back to the Shatter or the Unshattered. I don't know what the word is, but combination.
Meld, merge.
Yeah,
something like that. Okay.
What is the reverse of shattering? I don't know, but
I like melding. Melding's pretty good.
Okay,
Melding's nice. I mean, are we still doing the thing though? We're spending 4 mana for a below average rate so that our future stuff works better. Feels like we are. How much worse is this than Genn? Or better? Genn needs your whole hand to be a certain way. It's not that different. You need your whole hand to be a certain way to unshatter, to meld your Arcane Flow, if that really is the bee's knees that we're putting together.
Okay.
But yeah, while they're separated, if they each get spell damage and then come back together, it's a lot more damage. Okay, I get that now. So I was thinking of like this getting melded and then getting +1 spell damage, but you're talking about each side getting those +1s.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
And then they come together and it's even stronger than it would have been before.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a lot. I don't know. Are you selling me a trip to Rarran land? It's just the Rarran coaster.
That's why we do these videos, man.
I know.
All the people in Hearthstone are going like, he's not going to get it.
Yeah, well, you brain cooked me from all the other ones of like that. It's like, well, turns out nobody plays this. But if I had looked at Cleansing Cleric and I'd be healing extra, oh, is that what I should be comparing to? I like it better. It is only 4 as compared to 7, which is freaking got me already. I've been in for 7. Aren't I supposed to be in for 4? I am also just concerned, like, because minions aren't spells, and I remember that. And what if there's just not enough spells? What if you play this and you just draw a bunch of minions? I will say to you right now, there are enough spells. There are. If you, just like Fyraneth, if you want to build a deck that is with Kalak, you have more than enough spells to do that. Comparing this to cards in the past, and that's why I was like, isn't this this seems familiar? I swear there are like ways to boost your spell damage through Hearthstone history that are played. There are. Yeah. Like there's like this type of effect has a pedigree. I would agree with you. We have never had a card like Kalak that just does like all spells in your deck. Well, then I'll be a history major and say that the spell damage is better than the other versions of this we've seen. Seems a little more open-ended, can answer more stuff. So yeah, let's say that Kalak is good. Let's say Kalak's played. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy you came to your senses. This card's good. Yay! It's good. In the current meta game, there is a deck called Burn Mage, which is playable. And it has like about a 50-something% win rate. The highest mulligan impact card in the entire deck is this card. If you hit it on 4, you're probably winning that game. And that's how it goes. This card is going to be played for probably the rest of the time it's in standard. Like this is it's just a good card. Like you're right in the essence of like 4 mana 4/4 doesn't do much, and if you compare it to Genn, it's kind of the same logic there. It's like it's really delayed. It doesn't impact the board because Mage has so many good spells available to them that actually impact the board after, unlike Genn, which is just an upgraded hero power. Kalak is a really good card. And yeah, something I forgot to say is like this doesn't seem like you have to have it on turn 4. If you have this on 8 and then also play an Arcane Flow, like you're doing it then too. Yeah, like you want it on turn 4, but you don't. Unlike the other cards, if you draw it later, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, the fact that it hits your hand is a really big deal. Like a really big deal. All right, you have good cards in this set. I'm happy for you. Well, I mean, again, I didn't show you the Herald, so. You've been showing me so many cool looking pieces of shit. I promise you the next video we do will be Herald. I just have to take the whole time to focus on it, which is why it's like more involved. I'm too lazy. I'm gonna just talk to Magma for 1 second. Another Colossal here, okay? Magma. This is a 7 mana 2/12. You may notice that it says Colossal plus 99. It does. It says that. What the hell does that mean, Rarran? There's the Magma's Body, which is a 1 mana 2/1. Death will give a random friendly minion +2 attack. That's what every one of their appendages is. So as soon as there's an empty board space while Magma is on board, a Magma's Body will be summoned there no matter what. So unless you kill the front of I think this is like a spider or something, or like some kind of insect, I don't know. Unless you kill its head, it will keep on summoning its body over and over again. What the hell? Thank God I have a streamer to explain this to me.
If you summon this on an empty board, it will fill up your entire board space.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh my God. So in Magic, I'm immediately like, where do we get a sack outlet so that we can sacrifice this for some benefit and just keep doing it over and over and over to get like near infinite whatever.
Okay.
I'm guessing that's not a Hearthstone thing. No. I'm guessing that you can't just completely whenever you want kill a thing. All right, how do we give them all rush? Do we do that? Is that a thing we can do?
Oh my God. No, you can't do that currently, no.
Damn it. I thought I solved Hearthstone. Okay.
That would be, if you could give this card rush, that'd be so disgusting.
Yeah. And all the appendages. Yeah. Yeah, that'd be good. Let's do that. How about Storm? Can we give it Storm? Let's go.
Storm.
Isn't that where you go face? Charge.
No,
Yeah, let's give it charge. Yeah, let's Storm is charge in Shadowverse. My bad.
It's incredible how every time I show you a card, it's how can I cheese it out of its mind so it's just the best card in the game.
Yeah, that's how we do it in Magic. It's like you guys keep these guardrails around your cards and stuff. Your training wheels to keep people from doing.
Well, we can't interact with our opponent. We need to make sure we have some agency. No, imagine if every game came down to who dragged their Magma first and gave it charge so they can just one shot us. That would be awful.
All right, if the damn dragon isn't good because all you have to do is kill the taunt thing and you go around it, this is terrible. Right? Not even one of them has taunt. What are we doing? How do we do anything? You said this is Hunter?
This is 100.
And it's only got 2 punchies. If you summon it on the empty board, I guess it summons 12 more punchies. So it is kind of double power in a sense.
It is a lot of stats and it's a lot of
there's no board clear, and anytime you kill it, one just summons again. So the opponent kind of does have to ooh, you have no taunt, so now we murder you. They kind of do have to go face. Fighting this, how do you kill this?
They have to make a judgment call, right? They have to say, can I kill the Magma, or is it just a lost cause?
Yeah, you have to removal spell or beat down the Magma, which may or may not actually be hard. It's only got 2 attack. So a pair of 6/6s are just bam, bam, done. And then you just have all these death rattly dorks.
Yeah.
Which still do give friendly minions a bonus. So it's not like these don't come with any attack. These do scale up a lot. I mean, this is another card that looks a lot like you resolve it and they're like, oh shit, what do I do? And then when we said that last time, you said, oh, well, they just kill the taunt and go face. With this, it's they just go face. There's not even a taunt to kill. What are we doing? So I'm concerned that we have a similar problem. But then you're going to tell me something about Hunter that somehow makes Hunter plus these other things that are all about Hunter makes this better than it in the other version. And you showed me the other dragon first. So you knew I'd be thinking this way. You knew exactly how you were setting this up. Man, you're trying to get me. Yeah, you're going to tell me Magma's all good, even though Dragon all bad. It is 1 mana less. That matters. It is a mech. Does that matter? Can you put other mech abilities on this and then it does those things?
You could magnetize with it, but there's no magnetization in standard currently.
Okay, and do we have ways to, I don't know, give this taunt in the hand that are common? Or some other way to make this
Give it taunt in the hand? No.
Okay, then yeah, I'm still on Timmy stuff. You showed me so much Timmy stuff from this set. It hurts to keep dunking on it. How is this one better? It would need some kind of combo, right? You would need to be able to kill a thing, get a thing, kill a thing, get a thing. And that's why the rush thing would be good. Taunts would be good, but I don't see it. So I'm gonna say this is also a commander card, but yeah, bring it on. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're right. It's not good.
Okay, thank God.
Okay, so let's talk about Magma for 1 second, though, because unlike Paladin, this card actually has a lot of potential synergy going forward. First and foremost, you recognize it. It is a mech. It's also a beast. There's a lot of synergy usually with Hunter for some kind of beast. And sometimes it is discounting cards. Sometimes it is, like I said, magnetization with mechs. So there is a potential chance that this card ends up being an extremely annoying card to deal with in the future. Problem with this card currently is that this is too slow for what Hunter wants to do, which is hilarious because it's only 7 mana compared to some of the other stuff I showed you. And it actually has quite a huge board presence, even though it does not have taunt. And the difference between turn 8 and turn 7 is massive. I know you understand that we play card games for a living. But for Hunter, the problem is the deck that is currently being played for the class is called No hand hunter, which means every single turn you're trying to empty your hand because your curve is so low. Why am I running a 7 card?
Nice.
So,
all the legendaries for Hunter love this, I'm sure. It's just all trash.
I do think like if a slower Hunter deck does come down, like there is a chance. I want you to read this card real fast.
I will, but Rarran, I just broke it. I just broke it. Do you remember the Hunter quest line? Deal exactly 2 damage this like 15 times.
That's the Diva Hunter quest line.
Shit! Never mind. I had it. Dude,
you almost got it, bro. You almost got it.
I almost got there. I'm sure that just took over the meta. Confront the Talver. The Talver? Okay.
I think. I don't know.
Yep. 3 mana. Replay each 1-cost card you've played this game, targeting enemies if possible. Okay, that seems pretty nuts.
Yeah, that card is so nutty in a deck that just wants to completely like empty their hand every single time.
And you get 2 of those?
You get 2 of them, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather build around that.
So exactly. So I mentioned, I don't know when this video is going to come out, but the tournament already happened for those who are curious. I mentioned that Firebet ended winning the tournament yesterday. The way that this interacted was he played Confront the Tolvir on turn 4, turn 5 or something. And his opponent had a board clear. So he emptied the entire board after this. So he top decked the second one. And because he top decked the second one, he won the game. It was the only card of the deck that would have saved him in that position.
Cha-ching.
That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's
good.
The GOAT.
It's a mini Yogg is what this card is.
It's better than Yogg in the context of what the Hunter deck wants to do. It's so consistent. It does so much damage. It brings you an entire board back, gives you more value, gives you more resources. It's just like, I don't know how we're at 3 mana with this one. I'm going to be honest, but it is what it is.
5 mana by the time this video comes out. Easy.
I don't know if they're going to, I actually have no idea if they're going to nerf it.
You don't think so?
There's a bigger problem I haven't talked about yet. This is the very last card I'm going to show you. All the appendages do the exact same thing.
This card is sick. 6 mana for a 0/5 and Colossal +4. After one of Wicker Fang's legs gains stats, this gains them too. Oh, it makes them gains. How about that? And the legs are at the end of your turn, gain +1/+1. Wait, what? So the way that this interacts is when you play Wicker Fang. Well, again, I'm going to just say this on an empty board. You summon 4 appendages. So that's 5 board slots. All of them are 0/2s. At the end of your turn, all the legs get +1/+1. So they'll end the turn as a 1/3. The Wicker Fang gets +4/+4 because all of his legs got +1/+1 at the end of the turn. Okay.
And that does not count for any other board buffs available. So if you cast a +1/+1 across the board, not only is everything getting +1/+1, but then Wicker Fang gets +1/+1 4 times because it gets the buffs for all the legs.
Is this Savage Roar? Is Savage Roar in the format?
Savage Roar is not in the format.
Come on, let's go. Come on, cowards. This is Druid, right?
This is Druid.
Yeah, so it's busted anyway. Because, like, obviously it only costs like 4. Are we still wild growthing? Is this still a thing?
Wild growth does not exist in the game. There is a new ramp card called Acceleration Aura, which is wild growth, but it only lasts 3 turns.
No, it's still good. It's still sick. All right. Yeah, this comes down earlier and goes stats crazy. I mean, yeah, 6 is less than 7 and 8. That's for damn sure.
He's right.
And they're all 1/3s. So it's 1, 2, 3. God, I mean, everything. It's an additional +8/+8. So is 6 mana for 8 plus 8, 15. Yeah. And then you buff it. Anything else does buffs, hand buffs or whatever. No, not hand buffs. You want to buff the legs. You want to buff the legs once they're out there. I mean, it's Druid. Doesn't seem hard. It's a very raw stats ball. Yeah, it seems like a good one. And if you can't clear the board, it's just gonna keep going up. So they have to find a way to get rid of the 9 health of Wicker Fang on the spot. I feel like this gets out of hand. Okay. Like killing a leg or 2 isn't gonna save you. You're never gonna get the board back if this thing lives. Not in like a traditional sense, not without a clear. And you said there are less of them. I don't know, this looks good. And it's Druid, so it comes out early. So yeah, if I'm gonna give I mean, I've already been got by a few of these like go wide cards, but if I'm gonna get me on the Druid one. I'm gonna say it's good. Okay, so Wicker Fang, I made a mistake when I reviewed this card.
I thought it was not going to be good enough because it's just a stat ball. Problem is, in a standard metagame where there's not as many clears, this card is backbreaking after all the shit you got to go through before this card comes down. Because you're using all your like removal and damage on the board that Druid is building, and then Wicker Fang comes out and you go, what am I supposed to do now? Like it's over. This card is like, it's the cherry on top of what the fuck Druid is currently. And Druid right now is by far the best class in the game. It's not even close.
How did this happen?
We
go in circles, Rarran. That's all we do.
It happens because they gave, well, I mean, intentional or not, but Druid does have a lot of really good board presence. On top of that, because there's not as much removal anymore, I don't know if you remember the imbue for Druid, but what it is that for every 2 spells you play, you imbue your hero power, and that summons a guy that has +1/+1 stats based on how many times you imbued. So not only are you summoning good stuff from spells, not only are you going to develop Wicker Fang at some point in your game, you're also spending 2 mana to summon like a 5/5, a 6/6, a 7/7, all the way up because you're just constantly playing spells. And then there's also a card that discounts your hero to 0, your hero power to 0. So you get that for free on top of everything else. So there's just never ending onslaught. Even if you think you're winning against Druid, you're not. It's just, anyways,
what's the day 9 rant about guy?
Larger men.
Yeah, larger men.
I hope you can't use your dominant hand. It's that. It is unironically what that has
back.
become.
It's 100% back, baby.
Now, Wicker Fang is played in every single Druid deck, as far as I'm aware. It is just like one of the highest cost cards in the game. If for 6 mana, it is just a huge stat ball. And I think personally, I really underestimated how unfortunate it is to lose Brawl. Because Brawl would really help this problem, but we do not have it. So Druid is, I'm not gonna call it necessarily like, it's not like Demon Hunter when it first came out. It's just really good, and most of ladder is playing it, and it is the highest win rate deck currently. It is 20% of popularity from Diamond to Legend, and it has almost a 60% win rate, which is
good.
Very good.
Is that good? That's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
So you're telling me I dodged the thumbnail maker?
You did dodge the. Well, there's other cards I got for that one. I'm not worried about that.
Shut up. It's fine. I got the big one. We paid off the whole freaking video setup of there's no board clears anymore. We finally paid it off.
I don't know if they're gonna bring back any more board clears. They're probably gonna nerf some stuff. I don't think Wicker Fang's gonna get touched personally. I think there's other stuff they gotta focus on. It'll be interesting to see how Druid is after some potential nerfs, and then they'll go from there. But Blizzard, if you're listening, just bring Brawl back into the game. I think it's fine. Like, it's not that big of a deal.
But make it kill all creatures, all of them.
Oh,
and blow up the hand too. It can blow up the hand as well. That would be a great card.
Like, this is my take for Brawl though. Is like, and I don't know if you were there when we played Hearthstone. I think we played Brawl together when we did the tournament. But I think every player needs to experience playing a Brawl with the full board and your opponent's best minion lives. I think every player needs to experience that at least once. Like, that is. And there's so many new people coming back to the game. Like, they're like, oh, new expansion, Cataclysm, come try on Hearthstone. And now they don't get to play with Brawl anymore. I'll show you the other half at some point.
I can't wait, because you set the heralds up so nicely. I'm sure they're very polite, kind, gentle cards.